enjoy the good vibe. Smoke up in the green room, smoke your worries away. In the green room, we'll stay in the green room. If you wanna get high and you got the time, come hang with the hippie. Come enjoy the good vibe. Smoke up in the green room, smoke your worries away. In the green.
This production is brought to you by DHBN, WTHC Radio, and Stoner Records.
Welcome in, everybody. Good evening, and thank you so much for so much. I can't even talk yet. So much for being here. Yeah. Welcome in to another episode of In the Green Room. I am Da.Hippie. Down here is my homie Guillermo, Mr. Guillermo, or you can call him Little Skunky. And of course, we have Granny over here hanging out with us. Granny, thank you so much for being here. We have Kyle and Rich and Matthew in the chat already. Thank you so much for being here, guys. You're amazing. Let me, with no further ado, please allow me to introduce, I almost said Amber. Summer, please bring some. I'm bringing Summer up. I can't do it any longer. Here's everybody. Thank you. Thank you. They love you here. Holy shit.
Already?
Yeah, oh, goodness. Well, we do. We love you too. So Summer, and I apologize. Like I said, I apologize for the I don't know what happened. I got a brain fart or something that day. Amber got into my head, and for whatever reason, I posted Amber, and I apologize.
You're all right.
Everybody, her name is Summer. Yes, thank you, Matthew. He's giving a big son over there. Welcome in. So I was scrolling through Facebook one day, and all of a sudden I said, and this young lady had a picture of a white owl. I think it was some sort of a purple-looking grapish white owl wrap. And then I started looking at some of your testings there, and I was like, well, good golly, this is very interesting. And so without further ado, I immediately reached out to you. I said, I have to have her on. I got to find out what she's talking about. So that's pretty much where I was at. I mean, I see that you do some testing. I am very interested in because I personally have. Hey, guys, everybody, thank you for being here. Kyle, welcome in. Corey Lasagna, Dr. LeBay alone. Welcome in. Erica, how are you, sweetie? Good to see you. Thank you for being here, everybody. So why don't I'm gonna try to shut up. I'm gonna let you talk and tell us all about what you do. And is Charles with you? Charlie?
He's in the background.
Hey, if he needs to chime in and wants to help, we're happy to have him. I told everybody to expect him if he was here. Right. So we're ready for him if he's ready to help out. Go ahead and start. Let's see. So how did you get started in the first place?
So honestly, it started back in about May of 2023. And I had experienced some health complications. And upon experiencing those complications, we started being inquisitive about the things that we were consuming, right? And so we started testing the brands that we were consuming. And lo and behold,
can I stop you for a second? Are you talking about like medicine, or are you talking about like everything? Okay, you're not talking like you started testing foods and stuff in your home.
No,
okay, so we're talking right into the marijuana. Okay, so you started testing. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yep. And so we started out in the medical marijuana industry with testing there first because those were what we were consuming. And we ended up testing the first set of products, and like 5 out of 8 of them failed for having pesticides in them. And right away, I had Granny Cannabis facial expression.
Yeah, well, I want to stop you for a second. I need to know if you live in my state, for crying out loud. Can you tell us what state you're in? And is it medical only there, or is it recreational as well?
So I am in Oklahoma, and we are a medical state only. Okay. And so, we started testing there, and we continued to find products in that market. that weren't meeting the shelf accuracy. Basically, what we decided to do, to make a longer story short there, is that we chose to create an advocacy group based off of our own personal experiences. And we are doing shelf accuracy testing, whether it's in the Delta-9 medical marijuana market, whether it's in the hemp sector, whether it's in the tobacco industry. We've also tested some soil and water, things like that. And just
now you started this out of your own pocket, I would assume, and now you've started a small business, I would assume, of some sort, I hope. Or are you still doing it by funds people are donating? And I mean, are you just buying what you're smoking and you're testing it before you're trying, or do you bring it back? I mean, what do you do when you come across so many questions?
Now what we do is that we get patient concerns, right? And patients within our medical industry, they end up saying, hey, a product made me feel XYZ way, and I'd like to know if it's a safe product, right? And so a lot of our current testing that we send out for testing is based off of a patient request, patient concern. We've had bud tenders tell us that maybe they had a concern about a product they were carrying within their facility. We have owners that come to us now who are like,
bud tenders throw their bosses. I'm sorry. Do the bud tenders throw the bosses under the table? Like if there's bad practices being taken care of there? I mean, are they the first ones to come? Some of them coming to you and saying, listen, I see some shady shit going on in the back room over here.
We don't really take I guess you'd say complaints about the shady shit, just because that's not more so like it's they tell us the concern if they think that there's a concern for the patient's safety and well-being.
Okay, and the bud looks different. There's something wrong with the flower. It doesn't look right. It looks like there's a mold inside. Then they would contact you, and then you would take a sample, I guess.
So when they contact us, we try to go to the same location that they purchased the product at. We try to buy the same exact batch number and all of that stuff, or as close to everything as we can get. And we submit that for the independent testing through Scissortail Labs currently. And then they do our R&D for pesticides and heavy metals at no cost to our advocacy group.
Wow. And
that's beautiful.
What's the name of them? Shout them out again. That's absolutely amazing for them. They can thank them. God, Tell them, say it all. Give it a good shout out. What was it?
R&D.
R&D.
So, research and development. So whenever they're testing for us, they're doing it under research and development because we're not asking for a full panel testing. Full panel costs a lot more money. So, and, they've been gracious enough not to charge us thus far, but, obviously it'd be great to be able to pay them in the future. So
now, are you the most hated woman in the medical marijuana industry in Oklahoma?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know if do they even recognize you're messing with them yet, or is it they do?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how long have you been doing it? 23, you said?
So the journey started in 2023, but I really started becoming very vocal in about August of 2024.
Wow. And what made that happen? Was it something that came to you and you were like, what the hell was that I'm looking at? Or was it?
It was a patient that called. Actually, her sister called. And when they expressed what this person went through, it absolutely broke my heart. You know what I mean? It broke my heart. It broke my boyfriend's heart because like everything that we have done has been to try to bring awareness to the pesticides and heavy metals within the medical cannabis community. And had they listened a year and a half ago, then maybe this girl wouldn't have had to have experienced those problems, right? And that was the most heartbreaking thing for us, is why did this girl have to be?
Why did she? Right. Absolutely.
And so that's what changed it. It really kind of pissed me off, and I got fired up and decided to get loud. And the first year I kind of felt how am I going to say this? I internalized it all. You know what I mean?
You tried to hold it in because you wanted to say it, but you didn't know where to say it. Finally, it broke the camel's back, and you said, "I'm just going to say it everywhere."
Yep.
and I'm glad you did, because I never seen you before. I mean, just up until recently. No offense. I mean, I wasn't
Nope.
looking for any ambers in my life, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Summer. I'm kidding.
That's
But
awesome.
but anyway, when I saw it, so tell us about. Do you remember the one I was talking about?
The white owl one?
The white owl. I think it was a grape white owl wrap. And what we came across that, and there was some stuff. I was just like, holy shit. I mean, I knew nicotine was bad for you, but I think it was something about lead. Lead was in that.
So let me be clear on this. So the testing is to the MMJ standards within our state, okay? Because when we tried to find those testing requirements for big tobacco, they're not easy to find. You know what I mean? The thresholds and stuff. So this is tested to medical marijuana standards, but it failed for 2 different pesticides and 3 different heavy metals, being arsenic, cadmium, and lead.
Yeah,
And
those aren't bad. Those are all right. Arsenic. Lead.
Everybody's got that.
If I remember correctly, I used to lick walls with lead paint, that's why I'm the way I am now. So don't worry about it.
They told us not to.
And that's why I play with puppets still to this day.
I chewed on my crib and it was lead paint covered. I mean, like, you know.
Right. I mean, but still, I don't want lead. I don't want lead in my joints or my blunts or whatever we're gonna roll with that. So and then go ahead. There was more.
I think a big difference is that, like, whenever we're talking about ingestible versus inhalable, right? So ingestible, our body at least has the opportunity to detoxify some of that. You know what I mean? Whereas when we're looking at inhalable products, that's a direct hit to your lungs, to your, to everything, to everything.
Yeah,
all of it. And so
right to your heart, boom.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the whole thing. And Rich over here said it in the comments over here. He said no chemicals, and I agree 100%. I'm doing this because I'm all about plants before pills. Why am I getting shit that I would find in pills now in my plants?
So we advocate for zero tolerance, zero chemicals in your inhalable products within our state. That is one of our missions. And it's even on my business card. Zero tolerance.
I love it.
So
yeah, I'm gonna check out our state and see what's up with that, because that's something that I'm interested. I'm very interested in this. We have lots more to come. We have a 420 song coming up. You did some testing of your own today. I thought I saw you saying you were going to do some testing today. I don't want you to go crazy because we got an hour here, so take your time and we'll kill some time. But I'm loving this. This is so informative. Granny or little Guillermo over there, you guys have any questions before she jumps into some of the stuff that she tested today?
Yeah. Skunky, go for it.
So the products you're finding not safe, are they tested beforehand?
Oh yeah, they're up for sale. They're up for sale already.
Yeah. In the medical marijuana industry, they are tested prior to being transferred to a dispensary. But we have found, that there are times that what is sent in the order is not what the COA matches to, that they were sent metric. Now, whether that's where we say that we do shelf accuracy testing, right? Because we're taking the product from the retail shelf, we're taking the label that the company has put on that product, the COA that they have provided through metric to the dispensary, and we are sending that product in for testing and just seeing, okay, does this match up? Is it actually what they say it is?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
This is me trying to be polite and put my hand up and not interrupt everybody. Okay, so if you see this is me being polite. Now I forgot. See, now I got stoned and I forgot. God damn it. If you it was very important, Dan. What were you just saying? It had
about the discrepancies. Okay, so I have a quick question about the discrepancies.
Yeah, go ahead.
So are you finding that is it systemic, the discrepancies? It's not just certain companies or corporations?
Thank you, Granny.
Is it systemic throughout the system, this testing things that Oh, well, that's not actually what got tested.
So I think there are bad actors in our industry all throughout. We know that. And I hate even using the word bad
in this
actors.
beautiful world that we live in, no way.
Right. Everybody's so honest, right?
Actors, come on. Everybody is honest and truthful here in the United States. Come on.
I see bad actors give really horrible performances. So, that's
Well,
kind of
I want to ask, because you're testing it. Say you go and you buy, you're not going and buying an ounce of this stuff. You're going and buying a dime of it, right? Or an eighth or a quarter, but you're not. When they test this, are they testing it before it gets to the dispensary or at the dispensary when they first get it? They're testing it in millions of pounds compared to what you're testing and what you're finding in a smaller, tiny amount. Is that not what I'm thinking here? Am I thinking that if you're finding it in such a small amount, why couldn't they have noticed it in such a large amount of flour? You know what I mean? Before it got put into my jar that I can't see, I got home now because I don't know how they do it in Oklahoma, but I don't get to smell and look at my pretty flour. It comes in a package. It's crusty. It's dusty. It's crap. And it makes me angry. And then I got to buy 4 of these freaking dehydrators. Oh, yes. Can I help you?
So what does your lab test differently that they're missing, I guess?
So I think the labs are testing what is brought to them. Okay. And I say it that way because whether it's the company bringing the sample to them or
they're going to bring their best,
patient bringing it to them.
They're going to bring their best. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it, sweetie. You just tell me and I'll say it. They're going to bring their best and they're going to say, you have to bring a certain amount. If I remember correctly, back when Dr. High and I used to do a show together, we would discuss the amount and they would have to bring, you would have to bring a certain amount of each type of flour to be tested, like a certain amount of pounds, and then they would test, and you would take the best of your pounds and you would bring it, and then hopefully that passed, and then everything else just kind of gets pushed through. Yeah,
100%. So you are bingo.
Wow, I'm smarter than I remember a lot of it.
So, and I'm not saying that's the case in every case. The bad actors with horrible performances, they have nefarious intent in the first place. You know what I mean? And so the people that are out there trying to do it the right way, trying to do it the clean way, they're not going to be putting that bad stuff back there.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to start our 420 song because it's a long one. It's a beauty. It's our good friends, Elevated Roots. We love them. And it is a song called Dankrupt. How are you? Is that Chuck?
Yeah.
Charles, how are you, Charles? Nice to meet you. I got a blunt. We're going to do 420. That's going to bring you guys down underneath. So if you have to use the restroom or anything, you have that opportunity. Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I appreciate you guys so much being here. We got lots to go. I got so many more questions.
I feel homesick just hearing your voice.
He's from PA.
How are you? Well, I'm originally from New York, but yeah, same thing. All that same tri-state area here. That's the we all love it. This whole East Coast, yeah. Anyway, New York, yeah, New York. I'm doing a song.
Ask you something.
Pennsylvania. That's what I said.
Pennsylvania.
Oh man, that looks like it's our last one, man.
That is our last one, man.
Good thing we can scrape the pipe, bro. Never gonna be bankrupt again. 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 Gee! scrape my pride. Knew that when I went to bed last night. Had a premonition in my head that I never gonna wake bankrupt again. Jumped on my bike and pedaled downtown on the lookout for the one John Brown. Found him in a corner parking lot smoking spliffs and said, "Here, man, you want to take a heat?" I said, "I'm never gonna be bankrupt again. Never gonna be bankrupt again. Never gonna be bankrupt again. Never gonna be bankrupt again." Went back home to put the seeds in the soil. Compost recipe from brethren I know. Water pH to 6.1. Jah in control of the ebb and flow. Planting seeds, putting flower in my hand so that I will never awake bankrupt again. I said I'm never gonna be bankrupt again. 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 Always bring a flower to my friends. Always connecting to the music of medicine. Always finding ways to sing. Positivity and healing vibes. Always attracting my tribe. Always vulnerable to the tides. Always accountable for my strides. Holding on, not folding beyond. Letting go and letting you know. Bankrupt isn't never gonna be a part of my flow. I said I'm never gonna be bankrupt again. 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 Driving around, I see John Brown and said, "Dead man," him said, "Him never gonna be bankrupt again." I said, "Hey John Brown, can I give you a hand so that you yourself will never be bankrupt again?" I said, never gonna be bankrupt again. 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 Never gonna be never gonna be bankrupt again. Never gonna be bankrupt again. Wow.
Oh, of course. As soon as we come back, I had 2 hours there. I could have. And how the hell did you guys change?
I don't feel bad now.
Magic, man. Like the one song, Levitate, and we just like stuck in our magic.
Really, really high.
That's right.
Change seats, skunky. Look at you. You're looking good too. You got closer to the screen. I'm having a grand old time over here. Welcome back, everybody. We are back. That is Elevated Roots. Keep your eye out for them. They're dropping a new album. It should have already been out, so it should be any day now, and we're going to have them back on. Absolutely. We absolutely love them. That was Dankrupt. They have a couple other great songs. Headlights is one. And what was the other one that you just said before? Bringing the Love.
Yeah.
By them. So we're here with the summer, and we're talking pesticides. And others, the bad stuff, some bad stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw lead, I was like, oh my God, I got to talk to her, because I don't personally partake in blunts. I'm not a blunt roller kind of guy. I'm more of a last minute, I'll pack a bowl or I roll a joint. I prefer to roll a joint by hand, the old school style. I'm an old man, so I'm an OG. I roll it by hand, no grinder, break it up by hand the way it's supposed to be done. Anyway, go. Tell us more. You tested a lot of stuff today, right?
So I didn't test anything today, but I have stuff that I bought that's going out for testing.
Okay. All right.
Which is a lot more of the tobacco papers, the hemp wraps, the paper or the cones. Like I went
finding it in the cones even.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to be testing cones, papers, and wraps. It's all stuff that our consumers in our community consume with, and so why not? You know what I mean? Like,
oh no, man, yeah.
After this tobacco one had failed like it did, we were like, okay, well, whenever I posted it, and it kind of like that post is kind of went somewhat what I would consider viral for a little bitty Okie girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's been shared like 2,700 times. And there was a lot of people in them comments that were like, hey, can you test this? Hey, can you test that? And it was all cones, papers, wraps, things like that they were concerned about. So I went to the store and found a store that had a large amount of them yesterday. And so I've got a whole bag full of stuff that's going into testing this week.
That's crazy. I'm going to need to know what your results were. Can you show us some of the stuff, or is it already packed?
Absolutely. Sure.
Yeah, because I mean, is it stuff like Easy Wider? Is that in there somewhere?
Like raw cones,
cones going this week.
Royal blunts.
The raw cones I'm really interested in because that's what I use a lot.
Some Dutch cheese.
Hold them up just a little bit higher when you do it.
Okay.
Hang on.
My screen did something weird. There we go. So the Dutch berry fusion.
You guys, if you're out there and you use these, keep an eye out because she's going to have results for you.
And we will be more than happy to pass along these results as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love
yeah.
that. Thank you. Twisted brand hemp wraps. Those are going.
Mhm.
The Dutch honeys are going. Somebody asked about those. I don't have any swishers yet, but somebody specifically asked me to get swishers and send those in as well. So
Big hemp.
zigzag hemp cones.
Oh.
Then there's like pop. I don't know if you guys have pop out there.
Yeah,
I
no,
know.
I mean, all these brands are. I'm sure you can get them online. I'm sure
Absolutely,
you
yeah.
can get them anywhere.
Mhm.
So, no matter what, if you're somebody that smokes in a cone or any type of tobacco product, you might want to pay attention to this.
Some more camo. Camo was requested by several people to test it. We have some ganja berry wraps here.
Some of those wraps look really yummy, and I'm just gonna say, to me, naturally, when they look that yummy, my brain is automatically suspicious.
Right. And then like we've got papers, just plain papers. Like here's some raw papers.
Raw, okay.
Right. That's one of my favorite brands.
Summer, I'm going to tell you something. I've been saying it since I started using the raws, and I never really used them. I didn't like them. I feel as though they have that chemical on them already that that cigarettes put onto theirs. The cigarettes would go out when you would fall asleep or something. You know, that chemical that would make your. I feel like whenever I'm smoking a raw cone. First off, I can't even roll a raw joint because those damn papers are too small and there's not enough weed. I mean, I got to put more weed in there, man. You got to make the papers bigger, bro. But anyway, that being said, you stuff a cone and no matter how hard I try to do it perfectly, no air gaps, no nothing, I feel like it always goes out. I can talk for a half a second. I got a joint that I smoked that's still simmering over here with a easy wider that I lit in the 420, and it's still going over here. The raw would have been out 6 times by now. I'd be lighting it again, blowing on, putting the flame. What's wrong with this fucking thing? You know, and I just feel like raws they scare me, and I feel like they're already trying to save lives, which I'm not against. But don't lie to me and tell me that it's nothing on it, and then I come to find out there's stuff on it. Like that's gonna make me ornery. All right, go ahead.
Well, that brings me to a point though. You said something about hoping that you haven't been lied to, and I think in this industry, in our communities, in our medical communities, especially, we're forced to trust with blind faith that everything is as it should be, right?
Well, yeah, I guess because we're just happy it's happening, so we're like, let it happen, and then I guess we'll figure it out. And thank God you're into this part, and everybody's got their own little job in this industry. Us people that are trying to keep it on the up and up, but then they got, of course, we have our governments fighting against us the whole way, and it's ridiculous. We were talking about White Widow the other day, and I think I've never seen it higher than like 27% THC, and we were doing a show, and you could probably look it up in my YouTube back in the day. And somebody came in, they said theirs was at 38%. And we were just like, and we were like, they mislabeled it or something. It's never been 38%. It's just not possible. And that's when I started, and that was a medical dispensary, quote unquote, a medical dispensary. So what the hell are we doing when we go to a recreational state? And you're walking in, and like I was saying to some of my friends earlier, when you walk into that bodega in New York, and there's a pile of pop brownies on the corner of the shelf for $5 each or whatever, $25 each, whatever they're trying to sell them for, I'm not trusting it. I'm not buying that. I don't know where that came from. I don't know if he used his pinky or his winky to fucking stir it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if there are no pesticides on his winky or pinky, it would be okay.
Well, I guess, but there could be from under cheese.
Well, especially with edibles like that, you've got to look at the flower sources. You've got to look at the whole big picture to make sure
the whole process of it being broken down, turned into each process. So, but like we fight about it. We don't fight about it. We discuss it about it all the time, though. Like you really need to know your grower. That's why they should just give us the right to grow ourselves everywhere, and then we wouldn't have to freaking worry about it because we could just know what I'm putting in mine. And if I want coffee beans in my weed, then I'll put coffee beans in my weed. You know,
Don't knock till you try it, bro.
right?
I bet it would taste
Yeah,
good.
it probably would.
Like behind with extra pesticide.
So I'm in Michigan, and I am very fortunate in that I get to grow my own. Like I know from the literally the seed up what I'm going to be ingesting. I am incredibly fortunate in that.
Now, that is very true, and I'm great. I'm jealous, but I'm glad that you guys have the ability for you guys. But my state, we're still fighting it in Pennsylvania. I think this month or this year, I think it'll be on the ballot again for recreational. But I don't even know if that they put anything in there for the grow yet. I have to look into it again. But I don't even know if there's grow on the ballot this year. But anyway, I know there's a few states that are on the ballot. We still got to keep fighting that. We got to legalize and normalize. Normalize is the best thing. I mean, every time they tell us no, we got to tell them yes, or they're not going to, or they're just going to take it away. It's going to get taken away because people are fucking around already too much, if you know what I mean. Like what you're finding over there, just in the flower alone. If they can't put out quality product, then why is whoever's in charge going to be like, yeah, this is good for medicine,
Right.
yeah, this is great for medicine. It's got mold in there and pesticides and
See, now I know in Michigan, there's very strict testing, and I feel very fortunate. And we have several different labs throughout the state that do all the different testing. And at one point in Michigan, we were very short on weed for the dispos because the testing places threw out a lot that was moldy. And they just said, nope, it's not going in the system. We're not going to risk anybody. You know, okay, it's going to be a little more expensive for a while right now for everybody, sad to say it. But, and I would rather have a state that really is serious about this testing and looks at it that way and says, no, there's not good stuff in this. So we're just going to, send that bye-bye. And
it's so much more difficult than that. Go ahead, Summer. I'm sorry.
Does your state have a QA lab of its own, Granny?
yes, they have that, but they also QA the independent labs.
Right. So see, our state is just now getting their own QA lab. Around February 1 is when they're set to open the QA lab. And we have had a medical program since 2018. And I'm going to say that in my opinion, even though our state did not legalize recreational because it was actually voted down, I full-heartedly believe that we have a recreational program in our state. It's called the hemp sector.
Are you saying they're selling stuff illegally under the conditions of it being hemp?
I'm saying that we have tested products, and out of those products, a large percentage of them are over the 0.3 Delta 9 and outside of the compliance within the 2018 Farm Bill.
Right, which is THCA. Right, which is as soon as you turn it on to fire, it turns into THC.
When you like
catching them.
So there seems to be a loophole in the regulatory system, at least in our state, that we have found. The Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority is only tasked with the responsibility of licensed entities, right? Department of Agriculture is only responsible for 0.3% and less. So if it tests over 0.3, not a licensed entity, there's kind of this void in space and regulation. And remember the K2 spice movement?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To me, I see the THCA Delta 8,
Delta 9, Delta 8, Delta 10,
the K2 spice market.
Oh,
it's in
my
every
God.
gas station,
She's
the
my
vape store, vape shop, tobacco
I
store.
love you, Summer. I've been saying this since day one. It's poison. The shit is poison. Stay away from it. It is the same as spice. I smoked it once and I felt wrong. I did not feel high. I felt different. I did not like it. I never smoked it again. Delta 8, Delta 10, all that crap. It's
And I think
tampered
the
with.
very
Why would
part
you
of
want something that's already tampered with? Why are we making stuff to tamper with it? That's hemp. And then they turn it into poison when they put their chemicals on there to get us high. And then they sell it to you legally in states all over the place. And kids are getting it. And now kids at 18 are getting all fucked up on all this. Oh my God. No, thank you for finally understand somebody that understands what we're talking about, for crying out loud. It is absolutely ridiculous. And then you can walk in anywhere. If you see something with a Monopoly dude on the front of it, it is not real medical marijuana. It's just not. I mean, I don't care how many times that you want to smoke it and how good it gets you high. And it's like you might as well just take a can of paint and huff it. I don't recommend huffing paint.
No,
but
no
but you know
whippets
what I
in the
mean?
grocery store either. No.
No, nothing. We don't recommend anything but smoking home your own. I mean, just do it. I'm doing it this year, summer. I don't care. Come arrest me. Come arrest me. I'm growing in my state with or without them. I don't give a fuck. I'm done. I'm done.
I got the pleasure of being able to grow.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it. And if it's got to be me, then it'll be me. I'll stand up and I'll be the one. Come to my yard and pick me up and arrest me. I don't care. I'm going to have 3 or 4 plants in my yard that are going to take care of my medicine. I can't afford these prices. And not to mention, I don't want dried up, dirty shit anymore. And I'm getting that every time I go to the dispensary. It's now it's so bad that they are now taking bags of dried up, dirty shit, and they're grinding it up and they're putting it into bags and calling it fine grind, which is the stuff I find that they think they're picking up off the fucking floor, sweeping it up, putting it in a dustpan, grinding it up and throwing it into a bag. And then,
so that's what I call hot trim. Like, that's what I call hot trim. Like, really?
Well, listen, I'm not done yet. So then the other day I go there and I complain about the hash rosin. I'm like, the date on it is last year. You guys got to do something about it. I said, okay. They said, oh my God. So I go over, and a couple days later, my son, who has his own medical card as well, comes in. He's like, Dad, check out what I got. And I'm like, what'd you get? He's like, I got 1/8 of this fine grind with hash rosin in it. And I'm like, oh, they just fucking took the grind up shit off the floor, put it into a bag, took the shit that's old and dusty off the shelf, put it in, crumbled it up, put it into my kid's bag, and then sold it to him. And he's going to get better from that. That's medical marijuana for us. 101 in Kentucky for you. God damn it. Sorry. I'm getting riled up. I'm sorry.
No, we should be getting riled up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Us as the
if you get too riled up, then they're going to be like, oh, all right, well, then I guess it's an issue. Let's take it away.
Yeah, but if we, the patients, don't take the quality of our own medicine back into our own hands,
you are 100%
then
right.
Like our future in our program is doomed.
Absolutely. It's already doomed. I feel like it's already doomed. When they opened up when they opened up recreational, I felt like it's, unfortunately, I am an advocate for everybody to be able to smoke it. I think it's no worse than alcohol. I think that you should be able to enjoy it and enjoy it. But as soon as they opened up recreational and gave everybody the opportunity to play and dabble and put their hands into it, it has gotten fucked up, and it ain't going to get any better, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry is trying to pull a scam of some sort so that they can rip us off or cover up whatever. And that's just my opinion, but it's crazy. It's totally crazy.
I would just like to honestly see some type of charges put
Absolutely,
against these different companies and stuff that are maybe doing things with bad intent, or their practices are bad and they're found to be bad. Instead of being given a fine by the regulatory agency, they can simply be paid and move on and potential to do it again. We need to see these bad actors actually penalized.
That's one of the biggest things, Jay. That's what I say. They'll sucker anybody. So if you don't know, that's why I say you need to be an educated consumer when you go into your dispensary. And the first thing you should fucking look at is the goddamn date on the package, because they will, if you don't notice that, they'll just give you shit from last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't, I'm exaggerating, but it shouldn't be it should be no less than 2 months.
And ask for a COA. Ask for a COA. Don't be afraid to ask for that COA. Learn how to read the COA in your state. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? And like, get familiar with them. If you don't know the COAs and you don't know what questions to ask about the product, like,
become an informed patient. It's your right to know everything about what you're taking into your body. And thank goodness for Summer, because she's out there telling us that there's even worse shit going in that we don't even know about, because we're just happy we're getting high. But really, I mean, it's helping us, helps me every day. It makes me be able to perform, makes me be able to help, be a father, a husband. I'm still not perfect, but it is my medicine, and it makes me want to live every day and not want to be dead. And so whatever it does what it needs to do over here. Yes, Guillermo, I'm sorry. I'm always over talking you, buddy.
So all of the products you just showed us, were those all complained about, or people just want them tested?
Just like people, some of them were complained about, and some of them were just simply, hey, can you test this one? Hey, can you test that one? Sure, we can test it.
Yeah.
I mean, for people that are complaining about adding nicotine or any type of nicotine product, that's your own fault, dumbass. You're adding I'm sorry. But I mean, if you want to smoke a blunt and you're adding nicotine and you already know nicotine is bad for you, and you already tried quitting cigarettes and you quit cigarettes finally, but now you're smoking blunts every day, you're still getting the nicotine. You didn't really quit smoking cigarettes, you dipshit. No offense. I love you all. But anyway, there's no reason to add fucking nicotine and Fonto. That's another one. Oh my God. Let's add more nicotine to our blunt so that we can get high and smoke cigarettes at the same time. Good Lord, these kids. Let's get some Tide Pods out while we're at it here.
Throw a Tide Pod in there.
Everything they test for is over the limit.
I'm sorry, Skunky. What they test is over the limit?
Everything they test for is over the limit?
There have been a couple of products that have tested within compliance. Not near what I thought there would be. Like, I would say maybe 5 out of 50.
But that's still too many. No matter what, it's too much.
That's only 5 in compliance out of 50.
Yeah.
That's absolutely frightening.
Yeah. For the hemp sector stuff that we've tested. Yeah.
Yeah. That's absolutely frightening.
When you go to these quote unquote, no, I can't get my hands on the screen. I'm doing the quote and the other quotes over there. You just can't see. Quote unquote. When you go to these festivals, these 420 festivals, do you think they're really selling marijuana to you? Or are they selling hemp that's been doctored to be Delta 8 and the pre-rolls that you're picking up off of $4 pre-rolls right here when you're walking through the festival? Yeah, I'm going to buy a $4 pre-roll off you, fella.
So,
no, thank you.
It's all being
sell at events. They can't sell at events. They have to have
here in Pennsylvania, we're allowed to sell quote unquote hemp. And then everybody's walking around and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is hemp."
You're right. They can sell hemp.
Hemp and CBD. We only sell CBD here and hemp.
Right, but I mean, I haven't seen that necessarily.
But then I see a table full of mushroom bars over here. There's a table full of bars of mushrooms that I can eat, chocolate mushroom bars on the same table, next to a big thing of wax that looks the size of, I don't know. It just drives me crazy. I'm like, why would anybody want to chip a piece of that off of? They got a big old thing of wax the size of my ass over here hanging on the table. And they're like, yeah, you want to buy some wax, man? I got it. $45 a gram, bro. Chip. And they're just chipping. Meanwhile, it's just sitting out in the public, hanging out. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. You just sneezed on that 5 minutes ago. I watched you, bro.
Like flies just landed on it 3 minutes ago. I do not want it now.
7,000 people. I'll take a little bit of that. Yeah, that was good. And they're coughing all over.
Oh man, I have a question though. Do you think? Because I know I keep hearing from different people about cyclical vomiting syndrome. The doctors keep saying if you're dealing with hemp and marijuana, they're like, oh, the reason this is happening is because of Well, now you have cyclical vomiting syndrome. Do you think that it could be these pesticides and the lead that is leading to the more adverse reactions to cannabis?
I would 100% say that that's very possible. You know what I mean? Because here in our state, the thing that I've seen them diagnosed with is cannabis hyperemesis syndrome.
Yes. Yep, that's it. Yep,
Right.
that's
And
exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, where did that come from? I've been smoking weed for 40 plus years now. All of a sudden,
Right.
people,
Thank
people
you.
are throwing up.
Right,
I
right.
have a paralyzed stomach. I use it to stop.
I
You know,
do too.
Oh,
I
look
have
at
a,
this.
I have a
They broke that.
stimulator in my abdomen. Actually, I have gastroparesis.
That's exactly what I have. Girl, we got to talk.
We got to
We
talk,
got to talk.
girl.
And
Girlfriend.
so, yeah, you know, even with
I got some
gastroparesis,
issues. I got some gut issues too. Oh shit, my dick fell out.
I'll go
Sorry.
to the like emergency room or something, you know, with an episode, and they'll like label me with cannabis hyperemesis, even though I've been diagnosed with
one pisses me
gastroparesis
off.
for over 10 years, just because I consume cannabis.
That one pisses me off, bro. That one.
That's
You know, I'm
Okay.
very fortunate in that my gastro
I
guy
guarantee.
actually has listened to me, and he has a list of ones that have made me feel a little nauseous before. So he like, I like, hey, these particular strains are not good for nausea. Don't have anyone smoke them for that. And he actually listens, and he's like, where do
I've
you
had.
find other doctors like him?
I
It's
have
so
two.
rare.
I have my personal medical marijuana doctor, Dr. Harris, who has come on the show before, and he will come back and talk to us again. We've discussed this paresis bullshit, and he believes it. I don't know how I feel about it. Personally, I think it's got to do more with what we were talking about just moments ago with the
Yes.
Delta 10 and the Delta 8. And if you're smoking that shit, you're getting sick because it's poison, dumbasses. It's poison.
Right.
It's not weed. Delta 9 is weed. Everything else is fake and manipulate. I'm sorry. Just aggravates me. It aggravates me.
Hippie pissed.
And they're making dabs out of it. Making dabs out of it, selling it to kids. I'm like, I was working in a vape shop. I owned a hippie shop, and we shared the location. I talked them into splitting the location because they were very big and they didn't need all that room. And I said, we'll work together. I'll help, I'll have this side of the store. I'll help you pay the bills. And then and we'll go from there. Hi, everybody. Welcome in, Jay. Thank you for being here. So anyway, we're there, and we're now I see. God damn it, Jay. Now I forgot what I was
Building the side by side in the building and the stuff.
All right, we were in there and we shared it, and they came in the first day. They came in with this stuff, and they started, the bosses, the owners, and they were like, "We got legal weed," and I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "We got legal weed." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they throw out a jar of some stuff that looked similar to weed, but I could tell it wasn't like real weed. It was something different about it. It was flowerier, more flowerier, leafier, I guess you would say, more flowerier, leafier. But anyway, and then they pull out dabs, and it's this clear, see-through dab of some sort, and it was all the Delta 8. And then all of a sudden, everybody starts getting this psycho, crazy psycho, eating people's faces off, and yeah,
I thought that was the spice stuff. Wasn't it the spice that was making people run down the street screaming? I don't remember.
But there was other things too, like this Delta 8 shit's fucked some people up too, man. Put them in the hospital because they think that they're birds or something. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I may have made that part up, but who cares?
No, I've been high enough to sit there and close my eyes and go, "Yeah, I'm flying, man."
I'm the bird.
But I've never actually thought that I was really a bird.
Well, keep smoking Delta 8 and you will.
No, I'm good.
Right.
So go ahead. I want more. I know we're running low on time here. I mean, we can stay as I'm the boss, so we can stay as long as we want. It's up to you, young lady. How long do you want to put up with us?
I'm good for now. This is going well.
So, I mean, I want everybody to make sure you're following her because you're going to have to want to know what the results are. So please follow her. They can find you on all the platforms or just on Facebook. Where do you hang out?
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all at dabbingnana78.
Dabbing Nana 78. That's why I've never
Wait a
seen.
minute. I think I follow you already on TikTok. On the
think I
Tiki
do,
Taki.
Now that I hear the name, I think that's where we know each other from. Dabbing Nana.
Mhm.
Have another dabbing Nana or a dabbing Granny. Don't we have a dabbing Granny or something like that?
Yeah,
too?
there's a dabbing granny too, but dabbing Nana 78.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure I already follow you actually.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Well, I hate to
Do
be
you
the
look
bearer of bad
familiar?
news, but TikTok is done. Kapooey. Garbage. Done. Go to Favorited. If you want to hang out and go somewhere cool, go to Favorited. That's the new
I
place.
am
Favorite is-
getting ready to start favorited. So
Yeah, that's
when
the new
I asked
place
my
to hang
viewers earlier,
It's
about what
actually
they
really
thought
fun.
was
It's
there.
really fun over there.
Yeah, they're working on it. They're working on it, but it needs a little work. Yes, Grandma, are you raising your hand over there, buddy? I'm sorry.
No, I'm slapping the couch.
You were just slapping
Yeah.
the couch.
Facebook recently kind of slapped me on my wrist a few times, and so I was looking
Oh
for
yeah,
a
hi.
platform to kind of transfer some stuff over to. So I'll probably go over to Favorite as well.
Yeah, you need to hang out with me more because we're in trouble everywhere we go.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We should
no, what I'm
definitely
just
do
saying, yeah, you got to hide out. You got to hide with me. We got to behave ourselves. We're not allowed to talk about nothing on all the platforms because we
He
talk
got in
about
so much trouble on TikTok
marijuana.
that he couldn't even be in the chat room in my live.
I was
They
in
were
her
like,
chat room.
they just in the chat room, and they're like, "You're going to be restricted because this guy's in your chat room." And I'm like,
Kick him out. Kick him out. Kick him out. Oh yeah, I've lost 10 accounts over there. They
"It was
refuse.
crazy."
They refuse to accept the fact that marijuana is my medicine, and I am not going to stop talking about it, no matter what.
Thank you. I second that one.
Yep,
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
no. What? Speak for myself, Da.Hippie. What did I do now?
Do any of the viewers have questions? that
Yeah,
they've
you guys
put on
have
their
questions
routines?
over there? Anybody have questions? We don't usually let them talk.
That's okay.
They don't usually talk anyway.
Yeah, no, normally they're very quiet. Today they've been very active. I have to say it's Jay though, and Rich and Mama D.
They're absolutely great people that are in the chat right now. Just a
The
fantastic
other
crew.
social that they can follow is on Facebook. We have Patients for Safe Access. So, and it
Patients
has
for
the big
Safe
old Sunray
Access.
logo on it.
I'm interested in that as well. Patients for Safe Access, because that maybe I can start a Pennsylvania chapter.
We would love to like help other states implement, patients to implement something similar because
find me a couple more potheads in my area.
Sounds like we want to give it up. Like people's
Go to
face.
my local dispensary and talk to them. Maybe we can get them. No, they'll get nervous. They'll be like, "You're gonna get us in trouble." I'll be like, "Yeah, dumbass. That's why I'm doing this. You fucks, giving me crusty ass, dusty ass weed every week. God damn it." Anyway.
I think here we've tried to basically kind of leave the retail locations out of it because as a
Grim,
patient,
how are
we
you?
don't get to buy wholesale. We have to go to a dispensary to buy it, right? But we're also not trying to like go get dispensaries in trouble because like they're not the ones.
They
Like,
can only sell what they're given, right?
Right, exactly. But and if it has pesticides in it, the dispensary didn't put those in there. You know what I mean?
Like they're in the back room. All right, guys, add some pesticides now before we sell it to these guys.
Well, malathion. How about some myclobutanol?
Put some lead in this one. It's a little light. Drop some lead in there. No, not that
Don't
lead,
do that, people.
dumbass.
Don't do that shit. You gotta have humor with it, man. You got to.
You do. You do.
Thank God for my medicine, because I wouldn't be laughing right now. That's for sure.
I will tell you though, this journey has been like going down every rabbit hole, like in Alice in Wonderland. Though, you know what I mean? Figuring out like
So you find one thing, and then it opens up a whole 7 others, and you're like, "Oh my God, I didn't even know that they could have this or this in there." Now, Mama D said she had a question. Well, Dahlia said, "How's the weather?" That was her question. She said, "How's the weather?" So
Oklahoma is.
Mama D
Right.
said, "Are all the papers bad?" No, Mama D, not all papers are bad. She's got a lot that are gonna get tested in the near future, this week or so, and then we will get to find out. But papers probably haven't really been tested very much. I don't think that. I mean, maybe behind the scenes in the paper industry, they test them for some sort of stuff.
Before they put them out.
Got to be some sort of poison or something, like to keep, because it don't work as well as it used to. I don't know about you kids, but when I lick my joint, that fucker still unrolls every fucking time. I'm like rolling it in my mouth, spinning it, trying to get the damn thing to stay closed. Anybody agree? I think the papers don't stick as well as they used to back in the 70s, 80s.
I got 2 words for you.
Cones? Ugh.
Canoe glue.
Canoe glue. Yes, we're selling it. Don't worry about it. You guys don't want to know, ladies. It's not something. It's not something for the ladies.
It's over here. How you doing, Granny?
Canoe glue was something that I created when I was working on Clapper, trying to find some friends. And if you know what I mean, canoe glue, the glue that helps stop a canoe, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And you can get it in all different flavors, including asparagus and strawberry. And you just take a little bit. And then I had a lot of people who were unemployed that could get jobs. Just stay home and fill containers of canoe glue. I was trying to save the world, but nobody wants to use the stuff as glue. I don't understand. I thought it was a genius idea. It didn't go over well with the bosses, though. I'll tell you that much. Mrs. Hippie told me, take it down. That's not a commercial you play on the radio, damn it. Take it down.
Where else would you play?
I didn't tell Skunky, so he still plays it, so I still get to hear it, but I'm not allowed to play it.
That's awesome.
Mississippi is the boss. That's actually the boss.
No, it definitely has some sort of a scent. Definitely no unscented canoe goos. Nope. All right. Anyway, I don't want to talk about canoe goo. We'll get the canoe goo tested in the next 2 weeks.
Damn it. What? So are they? Wait a minute. I've got a question before I forget.
All right.
It might be too late.
I was going to tell you to send some canoe goo.
Are they? I guess are they not saying the right numbers, or the tests are just off?
So here in our state, we have different issues. We have inconsistencies within the labs, which I'm sure is a problem in each state.
Everywhere, yeah.
We have, variants.
Inconsistencies between bottles from batch to batch, same batch. You got different numbers on one jar compared to the next jar. You're like, what in the hell?
Right.
And then you have the bad actors who, will submit one product and then the other product coming in behind it, and things like that. You have, like, if you've got 4,000 pre-rolls in a batch, you know what I mean? And you're only required to submit 7 grams for a sample. Okay. And unless you're random picking from that batch, you know what I mean? Like, you can cherry pick all day long.
All the pretty ones. Give them the pretty ones that we'll roll these 7 and with the pretty buds.
Okay, but like with the pesticides, there's really no way to kind of cherry pick that. So it would kind of have to be intentional.
That's why they're still getting busted. That's why Summer's able to bust them, because even with their cherry picking, there's still issues. Correct?
Yeah.
Correct. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love you, Summer. I think that we have the same thinking here. I think that you think very similar to me, that these people out there, especially the thing about the stomach issues and the people throwing up and all that. I mean, I met a young lady. Her name is Shannon, and I met her over on Favorited, and I'm hoping you will all get to meet her. She's a sweetheart, and she hangs out over on Favorited with us. She is allergic to marijuana. Now, I've never really heard of that either until just recently, but she says her throat swells up, closes. She's allergic to weeds in general, and she didn't even take into consideration that marijuana was a weed. And then she went to smoke a joint with her stepdaughter or her daughter or something to that effect, and ended up almost dying and having to be rushed to the hospital. But as far as this throwing up thing from it, I'm with you, girl. I think it's not as much the marijuana as it is the manipulation of the other types of stuff. Your carts, the carts that aren't real carts. You're just, oh my God, I don't know how to save everybody. I want to put a cape on and just fly around and pull out the bad carts out of everybody's hands as they're about to take a hit. No, you can't have that. You can't have that. And replace it with a good cart. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'm going to get a cape. Randy, take over. You're in charge. I'm out of here.
Okay.
Oh,
Super hippie. Wait a minute. I don't know how to run anything. I'm not technology. I'm
you and
I'm the
Skunky.
grow lady.
I know how to get out of here. Is not it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Jay says one of his best
I'm the one that
friends
goes and talks to the Amish
can't
ladies to
smoke
learn out how
without
to grow.
taking Benadryl.
You know?
See, now that doesn't make sense. I mean, I don't know. Benadryl,
Never.
allergy pill, right? That's somewhat to do with allergies. So an antihistamine, right? Isn't it? Benadryl.
What,
So-
there's an herb. What is it? Echinacea that's supposed to like boost your immune system, and it's so good for you. And I am deathly allergic to it.
Really?
Of course,
I
you
am.
would.
It's it's horrible, right? Of course I would be.
Of course you would.
Sounds good.
Summer, I want to have you back as often as you want to come back. You have an open invitation. You come across something and you're like, oh, hippie, we got to talk. I got some info we need to share. You have an open invitation. We don't necessarily even have to do shows. If you got something you want to say, come hit me up. Join my Discord, whatever. We got to get you. We got to get the info out to these people. I know it's
Are you
only
doing a podcast?
Yeah. Oh, you do a podcast? Do you do a podcast?
I do not.
Oh. We could talk.
But I'm wanting to.
Maybe we could create one for you. We'll come up with
Good
one.
donuts.
So
I'm
yes,
looking
I
for
would.
podcasts on the weekends. I'm looking to fill some hours on the weekends, lots of hours on the weekends.
Okay.
I think that you might have a great podcast there. We might have to talk about creating something. Granny, you think about it. You think about it as well, Summer. I want to
Right.
thank everybody so very much for being here.
Yeah.
Summer, I have my email. I have your email. I promise to try not to call you Amber any longer, unless you want. That could be our.
That's gonna be you're gonna be our Amber Sunshine girl from now on.
It's our special nickname, completely.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys are all awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Amber. I almost fucking called you Amber.
You didn't almost do it. You did.
I did it. Summer Parker. Thank you so much. Enjoy your interview. I don't know the second person. I heard you had a couple other interviews coming up. I heard somebody else next tomorrow, and then Master Rochi. He is a fantastic Mr. and Mrs. Rochi. Are absolutely famous, fabulous, wonderful. I love them. Send my love. Tell them the hippie says hello. I've been on their show and they have been on mine. So
Absolutely.
absolutely.
All right.
Tell
Well,
them I
thank you
said
guys
hello.
for having me.
Oh, we're not. This is not the last you're going to hear of me. I'm going to harass you.
Oh yeah.
I wanna know-
Thank you
I
for
wanna
being
know-
here. Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
all this.
I want to know what happens with these testing, and then I want to talk to you about some more. I got some other ideas of stuff that might need to be tested. Do you test
All right.
cartridges, and do you test
With your
RSO? Do you test all that kind of stuff?
Mhm.
Wow,
edibles, all of it.
edibles. Even the ones
Fantastic.
that might be stirred with my winky.
I don't know about that.
Oh, you don't taste test them anyway, right? You're not taste testing them. You're just sending them.
They go straight to the lab.
You don't care if I stirred it with my winky. All right. That being said, I want to thank you all. Everybody, have a great night. I love you all and appreciate all of you. How the hell do I get out of here? Oh, out. All right. Peace.
Smoke up in the green room. Smoke your worries away. In the green room we'll stay. In the green room. In the green room we'll stay.